This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some more breaking news to share with you. President Zalensky of Ukraine just gave a speech live for the U.S. Congress. I'll play you a quick clip of the speech as well as the reactions to that speech. When it comes to Joe Manchin and energy independence, he has more strategies moving forward, and he talks about a few other issues that's important. I'll play you the video clip of what he said. When it comes to stimulus, war and inflation have people calling for more stimulus checks, and Americans could get a $30 a month in gas vouchers as prices at the pumps soar, and thousands still in line to get stimulus checks worth up to $4,000 in 2022, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So Joe Manchin voices support of American energy independence, which he has been saying for a while, as well as many Republicans and now many Democrats due to what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. So here is Joe Manchin talking more about that, as well as a few other important issues.
I want to show you this Wall Street Journal headline today: oil falls below $100. What can we do to keep those oil prices going down so consumers get relief at the pump?
Joe, let's look at the reality of the world we live in today, what's happened, okay? First of all, this is a Putin war, and he has weaponized energy, and he uses against Europe. Europe made some decisions that had not been good for them. And with that, they're paying the price because of the dependency on dirty Russian oil and natural gas, the way they produce it. So the least that we can do is ramp up and do everything we can to maintain our energy independence, but also, Joe, be able to backfill every way possible we can with the cleaner American energy. And I know a lot of my friends on the far left and environmentalists don't want to do anything about increasing productivity. But I can tell you, for us to be strong, to be the superpower of the world, we should develop here in North America a North American Energy Alliance with Canada and basically Mexico and the United States as one continent, basically, that could be the energy hub. And also, Joe, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can make sure that we produce the cleanest resources, basically, from fossil, but also be able to segue into a cleaner environment with the technology and investments that it'll take to transition. I think we can do both, but we have to maintain. You can't just do one and not the other and think we're going to be fine. And that's what we're running into, the conundrum here. We should be ramping up production. We should be out there doing everything we can to maintain our independence, but be able to backfill them everywhere we can. And if we don't get Europe up and loaded for next winter, for this summer, when they're depleted all their reserves, there's going to be a big problem coming.
So, Joe, what you're talking about, just again, I keep talking about context. What you're talking about is what Barack Obama talked about when he was president of the United States. He said we needed an all of the above approach. And that's where we're going to transition to alternative energy sources. But while we're doing that, we have to worry about today. I'm curious, you have the Germans that have fast-tracked a couple of LNG facilities, receiving LNG facilities for natural gas, clean natural gas. I'm curious, what's the possibility of us fast-tracking, say, 2 or 3 in the United States? It would bring energy prices down, and more importantly, would cut through all of the regulatory burdens that make these plants take forever to get completed. And if again, it's a national security issue here. I understand when we're debating in peacetime, that's one thing. But this has become a national security issue for our allies in Europe. Why don't we do that?
Well, Joe, I don't know why we don't do it. It's a humanitarian crisis that we're seeing. It's going to, it can completely spread throughout Europe if Russia decides to do more and go further. Here's the thing that we have, just in West Virginia. We have been trying to build a 42-inch pipeline, basically taking the most abundant natural reserves that we have in natural gas out of the Marcellus Shale. That'll bring 2 BCF, that's 2 billion cubic feet a day, into the market. It'll help Cove Point with basically their LNG facility to export. It'll have backfill basically down into Louisiana, which hopefully would prevent any type of a freeze up that happened in Texas. We saw 200 Texans die. These type of things we should be doing. And also, Joe, we can develop these new lines as we bring cleaner energy online, hydrogen. You can basically re-sleeve those with different size pipes and carry carry hydrogen also through the same things. So we need to be thinking of an all-in energy policy. Absolutely. And we can do it. You just got to unleash us. The government has to be working as our partner, not as our adversary. And that's all I'm saying. I think basically what they're concerned about, Joe, who's driving the train here? Is the federal government driving policies? And the government's basically pushing a policy that the market's not willing to accept yet, or it's not ready because technology hasn't advanced enough? Or are we going to basically, as capitalist society, let the market, and the market will change. People want cleaner environment. They want new facilities. They want new technology. And they'll use that as they make sure they have the horsepower to do it and don't basically make ourselves vulnerable. That's what I'm concerned about. And reliability is the name of the game, Joe. For the superpower of the world, we should not be dependent on Iran or on Venezuela to start producing oil, the dirtiest in the world, when we can do it here in America.
What are your thoughts on what Joe Manchin has to say? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know your thoughts on what he says there. So President Zalensky of Ukraine, Zalensky to U.S. lawmakers, we need you right now, as he invokes Pearl Harbor and 9/11. So President Zalensky just gave a speech just a few hours ago in front of the U.S. Congress. So saying a few different things. I'm going to play a quick clip, but one of the things he said is, friends, Americans, in your great history, you have pages that would allow you to understand Ukrainians. Understand us now when we need you right now. And then he says, remember Pearl Harbor, terrible morning of December 7th, 1941, when your sky was black from the planes attacking you. Just remember it. Remember September 11th, a terrible day in 2001 when evil tried to turn U.S. cities into battlefields, when innocent people were attacked from air, just like nobody else expected it, and you could not stop it. Our country experiences the same every day right now at this moment. Very powerful speech. Here's a quick clip of the speech. I think that the translator could have been a little more passionate. I think there was a little disconnected translation there, but take a look at that and what was said about it. Take a look at this.
Glory to heroes.
My colleagues, Slava Ukraina! Slava Ukraina!
Glory to heroes. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, members of the Congress, ladies and gentlemen, Americans, friends, I'm proud to greet you from Ukraine, from our capital city of Kyiv, a city that is under missile and airstrikes from Russian troops every day. But it doesn't give up. And we have not even thought about it for a second. Just like many other cities and communities in our beautiful country, which found themselves in the worst war since World War II.
Reaction to what we just heard from President Zelensky.
Martha, I think President Zelensky has, over the past couple of weeks, tried to make this personal. He's tried to make it, in each address that he's given to a country, personal to that country. Bill, you mentioned that he referenced and echoed Pearl Harbor and 9/11, saying this is happening in our country every day, right now, at this moment, every night for 3 weeks. He talked about Martin Luther King, I have a dream, saying I have a need, and called specifically for S-300 surface-to-air missiles and MiG-29s. He has done this effectively, as I mentioned, to Parliament, House of Commons, using words of Churchill and Shakespeare, and just this past week talking to Canadian lawmakers, saying, what if this attack happened in Toronto or Vancouver? He's an effective deliverer of the message. The question is whether it is going to move the needle with these lawmakers who have been reticent to do anything outside of that could potentially provoke World War III. I think, and the general may have words about this, there may be alternatives that start to develop up on Capitol Hill and elsewhere. Humanitarian corridors, no-fly zones to get in humanitarian aid, and with a warning to the Russians that any confrontation would spark a defense of those aircraft. But I think you're going to see this effective pitch by the Ukrainians to get more help and more help will be on the way.
What are your thoughts on the quick clip of what Zelensky said or how he portrayed it, as well as the reactions? Agree, disagree? Like I said before, I think there could have been a more passionate translator, or at least have, the script said differently. I just don't think it translated properly there. But anyway, Zelensky's rousing speech to Congress receives a standing ovation. So looks like Congress received it pretty well. Are they going to do anything about it, which was the whole point of Zelensky's speech to begin with? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below. Should Congress and the U.S. government should do more for Ukraine or not, and they should use their own money for the U.S. people? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. War and inflation have people calling for more stimulus checks. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has had ripple effects throughout the global economy, and a lot of people are suffering from this. So gas prices are well past $4 per gallon. Inflation is high across the economy, and Russia's war in Ukraine has led to worldwide economic disruption. So we're starting to see stimulus checks become more and more popular. For example, Mark Wolf, his argument was that inflation costing Americans as much as $300 more per month because of just inflation, not anything else, and that the government should step up with more stimulus checks. So what Mark Wolf is saying here is that there should be $1,100 stimulus checks. Can't find it, but basically the way that the program would work is that there would be one $1,100 stimulus check to all Americans like it was before, and then the potential, if inflation stays high, gas prices stay high, the potential of giving out a second and third stimulus check. Let me know your thoughts on that. So we're starting to see stimulus checks make a bigger comeback than before, as opposed to just state and local. We're starting to see more calls for federal stimulus checks. Americans can get $30 a month in gas vouchers as prices at the pumps soar. So ironically, the price of oil has actually dropped below $100 a barrel. Still high, but I'm wondering if the gas stimulus checks are going to still be as popular. So the Two Rivers Regional Council in Quincy, Illinois is offering $30 monthly gas cards to those who are on SNAP and TNAF benefits. So we're starting to see gas vouchers, gas checks starting to come out. So $30 monthly if you're on SNAP or TNAF. Let me know, should this be a national thing? Should it be expanded to more people who are not on SNAP, maybe people who are on Social Security, fixed income? Let me know your thoughts on all that. And then what if people are not using gas? So it looks like these checks, these cards, this new program is effective immediately, and gas cards will be handed out in $15 increments. So it looks like these cards are more or less gift cards, and they're not going to be specifically used for gas. So if you don't have a car and you get this, I guess you could use it for whatever in general, whether you have it or not. So let me know your thoughts on that. Then thousands still in line to get stimulus checks worth up to $4,000 in 2022. Are you eligible? So talking about a few different things here. The federal stimulus check of $1,400, that was that third stimulus check. You can still claim it if you haven't already on taxes by April 18th. New Jersey with the $4,000 stimulus check for couples, $2,000 for individuals. Oregon with the $600 checks going to eligible residents or workers, anyone who Oregon residents who claim the Earned Income Tax Credit in 2020 gets a $600 check. California with a $1,200 checks to claim those if you didn't receive the first round of stimulus checks. And it looks like they're going to have a third one because of the huge surplus that happened. We're going to find out more about that in months to come. And that is all the stimulus news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, so my name is Bella. This is the tip of the day. If you make a mistake, then it's okay. You learn from your mistake, it makes you a better person. So it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We like you a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Here's some more clips and fun moments from our trip in Colorado. Had a great time. It's also really good to be home, and I want to dedicate more time to giving you the news. It was really hard to do, really hard balance when we were away, but hopefully now I could give you more of that and focus more on the content of my other channels as well. Anyways, if you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, you can click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.